Picture this. I could be scrolling through my Instagram at 3 a.m., messing up my sleep schedule for nothing. Or I could be delivering this TED Talk for the emerging leaders right now. A stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet, is a strong belief that I have, and that is what changed my life. Here's how. To be honest, the way it happened is the best possible scenario out of 1,000 things that could go wrong. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm about to tell you a story about how two strangers became best friends in no time. So let's do a quick rewind to 60 days ago. Doesn't seem like much, but a lot can happen in 60 days. This TED Talk prepared in 6 hours is definitely a proof of that. So, coincidentally, exactly 60 days ago, a boy who could be halfway across the world texted me saying, "Hey, I have your contact in my Telegram list. Do I know you?" After receiving such a random text message from a stranger, it would be completely valid if I decided to ignore it and go on with my life. But instead, curiosity got the best of me, and I decided to start a conversation with this mysterious boy. With everything bad that is going on in the world, and especially now that the world is upside down, people have all but lost faith in humanity. We've stopped being patient, and moreover, we've stopped trusting in other people, trusting that with everything going wrong, maybe something can go right. It's human nature, as a social species, to form bonds with other people. But this happens only if you give time and patience to that relationship and believe that it can blossom into something beautiful and pure. Talking to this stranger across who knows how many miles about food, technology, the sky even, made us connect with each other in a time when the whole world felt disconnected. After about 20 days into the conversation about random stuff like food, weather, I asked him where he's from. And to my surprise, and his, we live in the same country, state, city, and even on the same street. He literally lives 2 houses away from mine. Thinking back to the day I received that text message from him always gives me goosebumps. Because I was so close to saying, "Nah, I don't know him," and moving on with my life. If I'd chosen to ignore that one text, I wouldn't be here delivering this TED Talk right now. I'd be scrolling through social media and thinking about how saturated and miserable my life is. After being mind blown by the fact that we live so close to each other, we started going on walks every morning. Seemed mundane, but it was on one of these walks that was so full of life that he told me about Seth Godin and Akimbo and the Emerging Leaders program, which leads us here, with you listening to my TED Talk. The reason I'm sharing this story with you today is because a friendship with a stranger can sometimes surpass all of your other deep relationships, because you see your bond blossoming without the lens of judgment. One of the best times in my life has come from trusting yourself and the goodness of people around the world. And that is what we're doing here. The depth of our friendship right now makes it seem as though we've known each other for years. But the rush that we get when we realize the 0.01% probability of making it real makes it feel like we just met yesterday. In conclusion, all I'd like to say is don't be afraid to talk to people. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because by limiting yourself, you could miss out on a whole new version of the future that awaits you. I've tried it, and all I can say is that it's marvelous how magical it feels to have something so beautiful come about with just a little patience, trust, and faith in the randomness of the universe. Last but not least, I'd like to say thank you for coming to my TED Talk.